All right, and a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com. This is Ramon Scott in Las Vegas. Welcome to Night Moves here for Saturday, April 4th. It's Final Four day here in college basketball. We waited months to get to this point. We've got four great teams playing off here for a chance to win the national title on Monday night. Closely rated games that should be very exciting tonight here with the Final Four. We've got our two matchups to talk about here, and we're also going to preview in this show Major League Baseball, National Hockey League, and of course 3 games in the NBA. We're going to skip the crown here, I think, get started a little bit early, but we got 2 big blockbuster games. We don't want to water those down with a makeshift tournament here. We're preview the big games here on Night Moves here tonight. And it was a great day of action on opening day in the major leagues in a lot of cities here as teams moved on from their first series and got ready here for the rest of the weekend by heading home for some big games in the major leagues on Friday. But I'm going to go out first here to the ladies' Final Four, where I think we talked about it pretty well there yesterday. We were on South Carolina here last night on Night Moves, and, well, where was Gino Ariema, or is it Gino Amnesia? Did he not remember that he shook the hand of head coach Don Staley there before the game? Now, a little bit unfair because actually there is a kind of a second handshake that goes on. That was kind of a pregame where they were walking and greeting. And then there's another one where they introduce the teams and the coaches are going to shake hands again. Dawn might have missed her cue on that one and left Coach hanging. And he was a little bit, Coach, he's a little bit, wants a little bit more respect for what he's accomplished. Let's hope this is the end of Gino Ariema. That's a tired look, and he looked bad there at the end of the game, getting in the face of Coach Staley. Staley, no saint. I mean, she was one of my favorite players back in the day, no doubt about it. Not without her share of detractors as a head coach, but obviously she's done an incredible job putting together a great team of and also, developing a lot of great young women as well with her program. So just a bad look for Gino as he walked off the court without shaking hands the second time or the third time or the fourth time. They did, a lot of people say he did walk off again. So here's the timeline. They did a pregame handshake, greeted each other. She misses the handshake, and when they do the introductions, here's the coach of one team, here's the coach. Then at the end of the game, remember, they kind of gathered at midcourt, shook hands again. Only at the end of the game did he kind of walk off and kind of refuse a second handshake. So still not a great look for Gino. And you know what? In the end, it was a blowout for South Carolina. Cocks up there for the South Carolina Gamecocks. They'll go to the national championship game as they blow out Connecticut in the end. And who will they face? The UCLA Bruins against Texas. The Bruins get the win there. They hold on for the win. We had the Bruins here on Night Moves last night. Yeah, we took the Bruins. We had them both here. So, hey, maybe we didn't hit all the men's games here late, but did smash the women's games here on uh, on Saturday night here on night. Did I say Friday earlier? Who knows what day it is here? We're getting ready for the action here on Saturday with the Final Four. But nonetheless, UCLA with the win there last night over South Carolina. Lauren Betts does the job. Really, the defense does the job there for the UCLA Bruins. Texas, nice comeback. That was a much better game, much classier game with UCLA winning it and advancing to the national title game to take on the South Carolina Gamecocks. So that'll be a good one on Sunday night, on Easter night, there with South Carolina taking on UCLA. The Bruins are 3.5-point underdogs to the Gamecocks. Total there 130. Man, those games went way under tonight. I really didn't see that coming. It was big time pressure here in the semifinals, and at 130, and you see how slow a start the teams get going there. You got to wonder if that's going to be a little bit too high there. The 130s today had no chance at the semifinals, so should be good there with the ladies here coming up on Sunday night. We'll preview the action here for Saturday in the national semifinals here in just a moment. Hey, I'm going to bring you hopefully some winners here in the middle of the night. We've been doing pretty well with the winners. I'll be coming at you here with a couple of plays right now to keep us occupied here a little bit while we go through the action. It's going to be kind of a long show, I think, because of the hockey card again and the baseball. We got a full slate of baseball. We might toss out the second game of the doubleheader tomorrow with the rain out there, but we'll preview at least game one and maybe touch on game two a little bit. But also here, UFC on Saturday with a great card here in Las Vegas, highlighted by the main event. It'll be middleweights or lightweights here with Renato Moicano and Chris Duncan as the feature here on Saturday night in Las Vegas. And I have a package up right now over at Tony's Picks, a 5-pack, my best plays for the UFC action on Saturday night. I'll go over the website here in just a moment. Take a look at that package and take a look at the handicappers who did well on Friday. But first, let me pop in those games here. We're going to look at here. We're going to go do the AFL tonight, and I've got a pick here between the Sydney Swans and the West Coast Eagles. This is at 4:35 a.m. Eastern and 1:35 a.m. Pacific time, and I'm going to take the Sydney Swans minus 32.5 here against the West Coast Eagles. We got a blowout going on right now with Port Adelaide here and Richmond. I'm trying to hold on for a little under here, see if we can get that. But all later on, Sydney minus 32.5 is my pick this morning against the West Coast Eagles. And if you're interested in a little National Rugby League, I'm going to take the Broncos here. We've got the game coming up here in just a short while. It's going to be the Broncos here are going to be the Broncos. That's right. The Broncos here are going to be taking on the Titans. It sounds like a game that is going to be played in England here or something. I'm going to take the Broncos here minus 12.5 against Gold Coast Titans in National Rugby League action. That also is at 4:35 Eastern, 1:35 Pacific. So how about that? We'll keep you in action here in the middle of the night. All right, we'll recap a little baseball here too, but I do want to go over to Tony'sPicks.com and take a look at the handicapper leaderboards and see who was hot here. I did have a 4-3 day, I think, here on the site. Maybe I can pop it up and check it out, but we're going to get ready to go here over and see who did well over at Tony'sPicks.com. And you're welcome to comment in the chat once we get rolling as well. I'd love to hear from everyone as I preview the games. We kind of pop up the plays on the screen so you guys can put your plays online, and your plays are more important than mine here on Night Moves. So, all right, let's get into the handicapper leaderboards here. Here we go. Let's see who was hot on Friday night. David Racy hitting it big time here with 78% there to crush the handicapper leaderboards. Tom Regard, also a nice day there, 72%. Justin McKelvey, 80% on Friday, Nick Lagaretto's also 80% there on Friday. Brian Bittler, 2-0-1. Ron Hahn won both of his plays. Kevin Thomas took down two of his three plays. Al Nino's hanging out there at Tampa Bay Downs yesterday in front of the Sandcastle. There won his only play, double shooty, 2-1 yesterday. Hey, there I am on the handicapper leaderboards. I got 69 units. A profit there, 4-3 record. Hollywood Sam on the leaderboard. Last 7 days, Nick Lagaretto's over there, 29-12, up 15.5 units. David Racy up nearly 14 units profit. Ron Hahn is on a ridiculous tear here this week, 13 wins and 1 loss. There, good for over 11.75 units of profit here. Tony T, 13-5. He's been hot here over the last 7 days, and double shooty up 3.5 units. Over the last month, it's Shane Mickle up 13.25 units here. Nick Lagaretto's up over 11.75 units. Ron Hahn up at 9.33 units. Brian Bittler up there 8.5 units. Tony T up there 6.5 units over the last 30 days. One thing difference here about some of these handicappers, do appear on the air here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Some of them not so much, but we do try to follow all the cappers here and give them their just due. So check us out over at Tony'sPicks.com. Click on the Premium Picks tab, find the handicappers who have their plays up ready and available for the action here on Saturday, including Ron Hahn. He's got an NCAA Final Four best bet. David Racy here. He's got a afternoon winner in Major League Baseball. Tony T's got his big college basketball side for the Final Four. Al Ninos has his play. He wins every day. You might as well grab this $19 best bet from Al. Double shooty up there with his $19 pick as well. Bo Dunn has his $19 best bet up there. And also, let's see, that might be it from the crew. We did get a Stephen Duncan sighting. He's back to posting after a hiatus there. Damian, 10-star, Final Four, Grand Slam play here. Ron Crawford, Final Four, best bet as well. So it looks like that might. Oh, we got Rod, his Final Four triple here in college basketball. He's ready to go on Saturday with his play. Oh, and don't forget, how can I forget? We've got me up there with a 5-pack here in the UFC on Saturday. So grab this one here. $35 get you my biggest plays. These are my best plays, my boutique plays, my high roller plays right here. These are the ones you're going to want to go at least 3 figures on when you're buying this package for sure. My top plays here. Check out the handicapper leaderboard. So check out my UFC record here. Pretty strong on the site. So I've got 5-pack up there right now over at Tony'sPicks.com. Click on the handicapper tab and find the handicapper of your choice. Click on their handicapper profile page, and that's how you get signed up. You can check out those records over there right now and see my UFC records here as well for the year here in the last 30 days. They're 9-6 right now this month. So, hey, I'm going to roll it big time here. I'm going 5-0. So ride with me here on Saturday over at Tony's Picks. All right, thank you for listening to that. Now I'm going to cover a little bit of the action here. Great day of action, actually, here in Major League Baseball in just a moment. But let's say hello to the folks in the chat tonight, including Tim M here. He likes UConn today. Cal Dog is here as well. Mr. Weskers joins us in the chat, keeping everybody on their P's and Q's in there. Timmy Two Shoes has some plays here in soccer. We do have some international soccer. I hope to get to the card today. We'll see a big card of domestic sports here. So also, let's see here. That might be it. Just my regulars here. It'd be great to talk a little sports with those guys here in just a moment. All right, I do want to talk a little bit, though, about some of the action here yesterday in the major leagues with a great card yesterday and some interesting headlines here from Friday, including the biggest, I think, of the day was Connor Griffin of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Did we see the fortunes of the Pittsburgh Pirates change on one 19-year-old's at bat? It felt like it against the Orioles. Connor Griffin, an RBI double in his first major league at bat. Kyle Bradish made him look silly on those 2 curveballs, and he just barely got a piece of that third one on a 2-1 count. When Bradish couldn't get the spinner going on that fourth pitch of the at-bat, Griffin lined it, smacked it into left center field for an RBI double, then scored on the next play with a head-first slide at home in front of his family and the crowd in Pittsburgh, including Stax McKelvey there yesterday. What a moment! What a player! This 19-year-old. The script could have went totally the other way, but you know what? He stayed on that curveball. Anybody who's ever played the game, right after you got to keep that back foot planted, be ready, and he got it, and he smacked it, and the Pittsburgh Pirates went on a big rally there for a bunch of runs, won the game just 5-4, but they did win the game in front of 39,000 fans in their home opener, and they were all there to see Connor Griffin there, and what a moment, actually, there. I did have the Orioles as a premium pick yesterday there. Should have known better yesterday with Connor Griffin in the lineup. That was a moment for sure. All right, some other games here yesterday, and we'll talk about some winners that we had also here on Night Moves. The White Sox won. They better talk about the White Sox now, because if they get some wins here, we won't be talking about them for much later this season. But the White Sox got me home here with a walk-off win, 5-4. I had the over, so I needed that a little bit of a comeback there. Tristan Peters, a walk-off single. Sean Burke gave up 4 hits and 1 run in 6 innings as the bulk pitcher in there, as he came in there for Taylor. Did a good job. Toronto trailed 4-2, tied the game with 2 runs in the 8th inning. I knew I got home at that point when it was 4-4, and I got a winner there, a premium over at Tony's Picks. The Red Sox defeated my Padres. I had the Red Sox as a premium pick winner. Every team has to pass the same test with me as far as premiums are concerned. I just don't fade or take my team because I know them better. It's going to be, equal every time with every other team. I just had the Red Sox in this particular instance. Marcelo Mayer from San Diego hit a home run just past the outstretched glove of Fernando Tatis Jr. Contreras, also a homer. Boston snapped a 5-game losing streak. Sonny Gray got the win, gave up 4 hits in 6 innings. He's always dominated San Diego, really, and the top 5 of the Padres lineup were 0 for 19. So it's kind of the way I wrote it up in the there in the premium pick section there yesterday with the winner with the Red Sox. It was the Twins over the Rays, and they finally got going. You would think that it was because of opening day the game was delayed, but no, there was a power delay there between the Twins and the Rays, and it was the Twins winning at 10-4. Minnesota 7 runs in the 7th inning. It was cold. It was gloomy, and I guess the weather might have affected the power there. Tristan Gray, grand slam, number 9 hitter for the Twins. Tampa's 2-5. They played all their games on the road so far. Mets crushed the Giants, but Soto leaves the game with an injury. Nolan McLean retired the first 15 batters he faced. He's the real deal. Francisco Alvarez, 2 home runs in the game. We said Alvarez, one of the few guys doing something in that Mets lineup. But calf tightness for Soto. I'm sure he'll be out tomorrow and maybe for a few games here. We'll see when you got a calf issue there. Late night A's blasted the Astros 11-4. Butler 3 for 5, 4 RBIs. The A's led 10-1 in the 4th inning. They're going to be better than most think. I think here Jeffrey Springs gave up 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 run in just 6 innings pitched. Mariners beat the Angels 3-1 in 10 innings there. We did have the under here on Night Moves last night as the Angels ended up losing it, though. 3-1 Mariners get that win. It was scoreless after 9 innings. Cale Young, RBI triple, led off the 10th. Brian Wu allowed 1 hit in 7 innings. Very strong outing there. Dodgers smashed the Nationals. Really got the bats going in that one. Night Moves winner, Phillies and Rockies game to go over. That was our winner here on Night Moves last night with that one. We also had the Braves on the road. I had a premium pick winner on the under there. What was the score? 2-0. Braves got the win. We had Braves on Night Moves here last night there. Also, Night Moves winner here last night. with the Cleveland Guardians in the 2-1 win there over 4-1 win there over the Chicago Cubs as Cantillo pitched well there in that one, and the Guardians got the win in a near pick'em there in that one, and also what do we? Oh, the other one. Oh, it was a rain out. There was a rain out there that's why we're playing the doubleheader today. So, all right, that's a look at the major leagues here and some of our winners. Our uh, uh, celebration here, or victory lap. That's what I'm going to call it. NBA, we did crush it yesterday. I think we almost won every game here on the show. And also, we crushed it over there on the Cover the Spread show as well. Indiana and Charlotte, game total over, winner here yesterday on Night Moves. Again, it wasn't necessarily a rash of overs, but that one goes over, and we had it there. 237 goes over 235 last night. Also, Minnesota and Philadelphia, game total under. Night Moves winner there last night. Hawks and Nets, game total over. Night Moves winner there, 141. 107 as the Hawks crushed it in that one. Night Moves winner here with the Toronto Raptors crushing Memphis 128-96 for a winner for us last night here on the show. And also a Night Moves winner here, Orlando on the road, knocking off Dallas, a 7-point favorite. They covered easy there in that one for another Night Moves winner. Also, a Night Moves winner last night, Philadelphia Flyers over the Islanders, 4-1 on the road, but we did split the hockey plays there anyway. Okay, that's going to do it, I think, for the recap. We're going to go to a great card here right now, start with college basketball. Thank you for being here with me on the show. And we're in for a long one here, so hopefully, I gave you a couple plays here. Hopefully, we come through with some of those. But I think that's pretty much it. Maybe for the overall headlines there, I think one thing I did mention too was on last night on the drive-through. My pick was with Orlando and Dallas. We did have that over. I broke it down. I thought pretty good. Talked about Orlando, but I talked about Cooper Flagg and how the team really gives him no support. That he is an exceptional player. Maybe he lost the Rookie of the Year because they just didn't have enough support around him. Now, I know that kind of takes away from his statistics to a certain extent, but I think he could have had more consistent games if he would have had just a little more team support. I only mention it because he became the youngest player last night to ever have a 50-point game. So that was impressive. Also, we found out Luka Doncic, second degree hamstring injury. That usually means 3 weeks. That would put him out until possibly even the first game or two of the postseason. We'll have to see about that. NBA investigating the Bucks because they won't put Giannis in the lineup there. But hard to fault a team there when they're trying to. Like I said, they say everybody says they're going to trade him. Well, I heard that he was going to buy part of the team. I mean, why would you trade a guy who's going to buy part of your team? You tell me on that. I mean, it makes more sense that they would trade him, but okay. So I think that's it there for that. Let's get into the action here for Saturday with the Final Four. Okay, let's go. Let me say hello to. Did I miss anybody in the chat here? Let me see here if I miss. Mad Sushi is there. Mad Sushi got his plays for tomorrow as well. OGB Cappen's here today. He said UConn and Arizona. Hello, OGB. There, and who else? Did anybody join us? See if we got any other folks here real quick. Just enjoying the conversation with you guys. Good job. And no, I think that's it. You guys just having okay, here we go. Let's get it started here for the action on Saturday at the Final Four. All right, Here we go. First game up. It's going to be the Illinois Fighting Illini taking on the Connecticut Huskies. Illinois favored here by 1.5, and the total 139.5 here in this one. For Illinois, they're pretty much running out there a professional basketball team right now. You got pretty much 7 guys on this roster who are going to be professional players. Not all are going to be NBA players, but the ones that don't make it the NBA are going to be players in other leagues throughout the world. I'll promise you that. The second seed Huskies come to Lucas Oil Stadium looking for their third national championship in 4 seasons under Coach Hurley. Certainly impressive, and certainly you've got to put a big check mark in the experience category here, facing the 3 seed. But this Illinois team, I mean, they've got a very mature lineup. I mean, these guys, they've got the 3 key Euro players there. Those guys would be professionals if they were not playing college basketball here in the United States. The Illinois Fighting Illini are the top offensive efficiency team in the country. They've won their last 4 tournament games by at least 10 points, with Keaton Wagler leading the Illini, 18 points per game on 40.7% from 3. UConn here do have a maybe a little bit of injury note. I'm not going to certainly say not 100% here with Silas Demery, but he might be 90% anyway. Does average 6 assists, 11 points per game, and great numbers as well, with 45% shooting, 40% from 3, and 80% from the line. So, these teams did meet earlier this season back on November 28th. You remember, UConn won it 74-61. Things have changed, I would say, since that point. Illinois has dominated the glass in the tournament. We've talked about it every time, right, with teams that kind of win the rebounding battle. This season, well, Illinois has a plus 16 rebounding margin this season. They also ranked 3rd in the nation with 39.5 offensive rebound rate here. So, look, Illinois to me looks like the more professional team. Now, UConn's already got some rings, if you will, with some of these guys. Look, Alex Caravan basically took over and showed his experience in that last game. But Illinois averaging nearly 80% in their last 4 NCAA wins. They're also the tallest team in the country, too. Illinois just 10-8 against teams in the top 50. But again, they've got their role going more so towards the end here, obviously. They were 13-2 in non-conference games. Illinois, 49% of Illinois shots were 3-pointers. That was 15th in the nation. They also made 38.3% of their points on threes. Usually I'm a little bit down on teams that are more prevalent in shooting the threes and making the threes. But remember, they were on that. We were making, I don't know if I was critical of them. I guess I was, but talking about losing those overtime games. So many of them there down the stretch for their last 5 losses. In fact, on the court right now, actually, are overtime losses. But now looking back on it, I would be easy to say now that, hey, they were competitive in those games. I don't know. This is Illinois' first Final Four here in 21 years. For UConn here, the Huskies 11-4 in their last 15 after a 22-1 start. UConn was 37th in the country in effective field goal percentage offense, 9th in effective field goal percentage defense. They went 13-1 in their non-conference games. The one interesting stat with UConn, we've talked about it before, just 16.5% of their points come on the foul line. That was 333rd in the country out of 365 teams. That's not becoming of a national title contender, but not the most critical stat, obviously. But still, Huskies were 10-3 against top 50s, and UConn was the number 30 team in the country in offensive rebounding. However, it does feel like against this Illinois team, you might want to be in the top 10. So let's see what you got here. Let's go to the chat in this one with UConn and Illinois, and I want to hear from you. In the chat here, total 139.5 right now. Let's go to the chat. All right, here we go. Illinois on the money line. That looks like the first one here. For Cal Dog. Mr. Weskers, he's having trouble here. One side or the other, I think here. All right, let's see what else here. Timmy says UConn's come ready to hit the baskets, but he doesn't know if they can do it. Illinois is not Duke, says Timmy, right? Well, you know what? Pardon me, guys. Who is Duke, right? I look, there was some weird, who was saying, Shire, is he going to get fired? I don't know. I guess they've missed out on the biggest games here, but it does seem a little bit of a stretch or a reach. Who has Illinois played? I don't know. They did play the toughest, I believe, what turned out to be the toughest conference in the country this season. Maybe the ratings are different. Hello to Nature Boy in the chat. How did he not get suspended? Yeah, that it was a good point there, Nature Boy. Obviously, even the official came out and I don't want to say in defense of Coach, but basically said there was nothing to it. But just kind of bizarre. He does have. We definitely get on Coach's case, and we wish he was a little bit more. Wouldn't you like to run into Coach at a gas station, right, and him going off and being a Karen? Couldn't you see that, right? I'd love to dig into him there, but look, these referees, even Coach Hurley has said, that. I don't want to say it like this, but call them fanboys a little bit, right? And they've developed kind of maybe somewhat of a friendship. Maybe that you almost have to, so this guy doesn't really get in your ear with the profanities there a little bit. That's what Gino was also accusing Coach Staley of. Says her foul mouth is a bad look there, even though it was a coach. That interesting with Connecticut. What is it with these Connecticut coaches? All right, Timmy says that 1.5 could matter, and Mr. Wesker says the line was 2, and then they bought it back out real quick there. Mad Sushi Maker says he's going to take UConn. He's also going to buy here another 1.5. Just to make sure he gets a 3 field goal in there.
Final.
UConn could not hit a 3. They couldn't hit one in the women's game either, huh? Okay. Oh, Mr. Western said, yeah. Well, yeah, you know what, though, Mr. Right, in the tournament, I guess it's a little different here, but I'd rather look at the regular season anyways with the strength of schedule there a little bit. Every team's going to have that reach this point, probably played low-seeded teams that, it's going to look like you have something, not a big win on your resume or whatever there. So, all right. And Mr. Wesker says the ref spoke on Hurley, says there's nothing there. Ramon, just a hater, a 2-time champ. Mr. Weskers is obviously not watching the show compared to what I just said about Coach 3 minutes ago. All right. Well, let's see what you got. Any other picks or comments here? Any other strange out-of-the-blue comments from not watching the show? Let me know, and then I'll make my pick here in this one. All right. Let's see. We'll know right away if the shots start falling there for UConn, huh? All right. I'm going to take the under in this one with Illinois and UConn. Give me the under here at 139.5. Mark my pick here. We'll move on to the next one. Thank you for some great picks in the chat. Good luck. All right. Another huge matchup here with the Michigan Wolverines and the Arizona Wildcats in Game 2 at the national semifinals. Michigan favored by 1.5 here over Arizona. Great. Oh, man, this is going to be what a night what a night it's going to be of college basketball here with these great matchups, no doubt. All right, let's take a look at this one here. Total 157.5 here in this one. We're expecting a little bit of a different game there from that first one, I guess. But number 1 seed, Michigan Wolverines. Number 1 seed, Arizona Wildcats. Here, Michigan comes in 35-3. Arizona's 36-2. Michigan advanced to the Final Four with a 94-62 win over Tennessee. Arizona won comfortably over Purdue, 79-64. Dusty May, boy, he was getting a lot of pub today on the women on the Final Four show. There is he's got Michigan back in the Final Four for the first time in 8 years. He himself took. Obviously a mid-major to the Final Four. So, yeah, he's got a pretty good transfer portal class with Yaxel Lendenborg, who came over from UAB. Also, Ade Mara, Morez Johnson, Mr. Smooth out there with 4 of their 5 starters being transfers. Arizona's nucleus, of course, centers around that first-year talent with Koa Pete, Braden Burries, and Karchenkov as well, representing the first freshman trio with at least 50 points each, entering the Final Four in a tournament since Kentucky's national title team back in 2012. That's an interesting comparison. I think this matchup shapes up strength on strength, battle in the paint. Arizona dominates the glass on the free throw line, while the Wolverines shoot better inside the arc, 61%. They're going to look to force the Wildcats, meanwhile, to take shots from outside the paint. I think that's what they've, kind of got to do here in this particular matchup. Michigan's won 21 of their last 23 games. They're shooting 61% inside the arc. That's number 2 in the country. They're the number 6 effective field goal percentage shooting team in the country and the number 1 effective field goal percentage defense in the country. The Wolverines were 19-3 versus teams ranked in the top 50. Michigan scored 95 points in their four NCAA games. So Michigan 14-0 in non-conference games. They lost the title game when they were here 8 years ago, but Dusty May, as we said, took Florida Atlantic to the Final Four just 3 years ago. I remember that team for sure. Because of San Diego State's run. For the Wildcats here, they've won 13 in a row, 9-3 against the spread in their last 12. They're the number 2 effective field goal defense in the country, and they're 35th in effective field goal offensive percentage. Arizona, 17-0 in non-conference games. They're 19-2 versus top 50s. Arizona gets 56.8% of their points from inside the arc. That is number 14 in the country. Now, over the last 10 years, favorites are 5-2 against the spread in Final Four games with 2 number 1 seeds playing. I only mention it because Michigan is the slightest of favorites, but you might just chalk it up as a near pick'em here in this one. Let's go to the chat and see what you guys have to say here with Michigan and Arizona.
Final.
All right, here we go. Let's see. Go back here. All right, let's see here. Mr. Wesker says, how can you get in the way of Arizona? He's tried it, and it hasn't worked out. Arizona just keeps coming. I only ended up out of all those, those 4 futures tickets, I only end up with 1 here, and it's on Arizona. So, I might go to the total here, but just to be clear, I think, I got to be on Arizona because I do have a futures ticket. But I'm not going to use that as my official play here. I'll just make it clear that I have a futures ticket on Arizona to win the national championship. So I think I need them to win here. Let's see. Mr. Wester is not too happy with Gino. Arizona money line there for Cal Dog. Michigan does have long-range artillery, says Timmy. Gazzo's here. He says Arizona on the money line. Hello to Gazzo. Nice to see you today. And hey, I want to say hello and welcome to KC Cars joining us. Man, KC, nice to see you in there. Looking good on that profile photo there, and appreciate that. He's got Arizona here, taking Arizona. Thank you, KC Cars, joining us in the chat. That was really nice of you. And that might be it, though, from the picks in the chat. Well, interesting here. I got another under here, guys. Maybe I watched too many of those. Watched those women's games tonight, but I'm going with the under in both games here at the Final Four here on Saturday. That's it. That's a look at the two games there for Saturday. I'll just mention the lines here. We're not going to preview the Crown. Does get in kind of early. I think the first game we're here in Vegas here, but the first game at the Crown will be at 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 a.m. Pacific with Oklahoma and Baylor, followed by West Virginia and Creighton, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Let me get those lines out. Oklahoma 1-point favorite, 159, and Creighton is a pick-em against West Virginia. Total 134.5. That's your lead in to the national championship. A couple of college basketball games to warm you up. All right, let's keep it going here right now. We're going to get into Major League Baseball here next. We've got a big card here, 16 games. We're going to probably skip the second game of the doubleheader between Milwaukee and Kansas City. We'll brush on it here, but with an early season doubleheader, and I'm sure things will be a little bit sketchy with that. So I want to say hello also real quick here. Scuba Diver. Hello to Scuba Diver. Really good to have you here. Michigan will win and cover the spread. Thank you, Scuba Diver, for taking a moment here to share your picks with us in the chat. Appreciate that. All right, I'll give one more second here. We're getting ready to move on. And we're going to go to Major League Baseball with this big card. We'll touch on the games. We're not going to go crazy here too much with still too many with the we're getting our data points going though for sure. But just should be a great card here on Saturday after the opening games there on Friday. Thank you, Scuba Diver. Good to have you here. Okay, let's get a move on here though right now, and I'm going to go to the major leagues. So get your pens, pencils, and rotation orders ready. And we'll go out first to top of the board. We're going in chronological order here with the Cardinals taking on the Tigers here with Cardinals coming in here 4-3. Dusty May on the mound comes in 0-1 with a 13.5 ERA. Jack Flaherty goes for the Tigers 0-1, 4.15 ERA here for Flaherty thus far. Still really on the second go round with the starting pitchers here right now. But hey, Detroit won the season opener there yesterday over the Cardinals. They were able to get it done in a 4-0 shutout for Framber Valdez. Maybe Framber will be comfortable there in Detroit. He overwhelmed the Cardinals there yesterday in the opener. Detroit is 2-1 as a favorite so far this season. Detroit's gone under here in 2 of 3 games as a favorite. The Cardinals have gone under in 4 of the 7 games thus far. Both teams basically went under in 4 of their 7 games each here so far this season. I'll make light of it because I kind of want to go there, but it's 7.5 over 20. I thought it was 8, but I think it actually has moved down here a little bit from 8 under to 7.5. Here, let me make sure. Let me get the odds up here. Oh, pardon me, you guys. Okay, here we go.
Final.
my Japan basketball games are getting in the way. Yeah, 7.5. In fact, you know what? It might be 7.5 under right now. I'm going to call it 7.5 under 15. We're seeing some movement here to the under for sure in this one. Line here is maybe $1.60 at some square books here right now. The sharp books are at about $1.55 here in this one for sure. With these two teams. But let me go to the chat. I'll see how you have it. Maybe I'll make my pick here before I go in here because I think it's obvious. I'm on the under here. You know, the Tigers are probably have this matchup advantage here, but I'm not going to give out $1.60 on the show. So let me go under here as my pick at 7.5, shaded to the under. Detroit's bullpen's been kind of middle tier so far. But St. Louis's lineup shows some cold bats here against Flaherty in the splits. Let me see if I can, without delaying too much time here, kind of look at the numbers here in the BVP in this one because definitely the Cardinals do have some bats here that haven't fared too well against Flaherty, including Gorman, Burleson, and Wynn are all 0 for 6 combined with 5 strikeouts. Not a big sample there, but he did roll through this lineup before. I think tight, lower scoring game profiling here. I think I'm going to take the under in this one. Let's see what you guys have in the chat with our baseball. Talking baseball. Okay, here we go. Scuba's ready to go. Baseball's tough, Scuba. I tell you what, 162 games, right? And if you win, 90 of them, you're pretty good as a team or as a bettor. All right, here we go. Timmy says, he was talking about here we go. Mr. Wesker's on the Tigers here, and Cal Dog on the Tigers as well. And Framber did mow him down, no doubt about it, yesterday. And Jack Flaherty better hit the road, Jack. Gazzo's on the Tigers here. Timmy says the Cards are legit. You know, it's rare, right, when we see the Cardinals not even competing sometimes like they have the last couple of years. You figure it's only a matter of time with the Cardinals, but I don't know. It's been a couple of years where we're kind of like, are the Cardinals losing their mojo a little bit? Jermaine says maybe the total seems light, and Cal Dog is going to go on the over here. And thank you to Scuba for those plays in there. He does have, let me see, he's got a little action there on the Mariners as well. A big parlay there. All right, Scuba, I gotcha. Hey, I want to say hello to Anthony Torres Jr. He's talking Mets baseball in the chat here. We're going to talk Mets baseball here in just a short while. Thank you to Anthony Torres in the chat. And Mr. Wester says if the Cardinals do get one here, maybe it will be against Flaherty here. All right. Look, let me see. Is there any? Hey, Scuba, thank you so much. That's so awesome of you. Thank you, man. Really appreciate your support here of the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. For the Cardinal, Weatherholt, he's been incredible so far. Burleson's look good. Walker, maybe the bats are heating up a little bit. Scott's been really good here too for the Tigers here so far. You really got Colt Keith has been great. McGonigal continues to look good over there at third base, but Kerry Carpenter hitting under 100 so far. Torkelson, nothing doing. And a lot of guys under 200 on that Tigers lineup right now. I'm going to go under. Next up, the Toronto Blue Jays. This is Flaherty's long-lost brother, Fluharty. This is a guy who got this uniform name mixed up on the back of his jersey. Toronto goes with Fluharty here. This is Mason Fluharty, 10.8 ERA, 1.8 whip with 4 strikeouts in that first game. Toronto losers of 2 straight. The White Sox got their second win of the season yesterday. sending the Blue Jays to defeat for the third time. White Sox won the home opener by the score of 5-4 and a walk-off there, as we mentioned. The White Sox, just 2-5 so far this season, and meanwhile Toronto does come in here 4-3. White Sox are 6-1 to the over thus far, not because of their offense. Here, Toronto 3-4 to the under so far this season. This one's probably worthy of consideration in run line territory. Toronto's 2-5 as a run line favorite, but the White Sox are just 2-5 against on the run line. As an underdog here in this one. The Chicago bullpen has a 7.5 ERA so far. They also have some guys that don't hit that well. I think they have some appearances here. Flaherty's not a first timer, I don't think, here. Let me see. I thought there were some numbers on this here, but maybe I just don't have it here. I'm not going to spend too much time on it here if I don't have the numbers here. Okay, let's see what you guys have, though, in the chat here in this one with the Blue Jays. Big road favorite for sure here. Like I said, $1.70, total 8 over 15 here. Let's see what you guys have in this one. Flaherty, a left-hander coming in here. And let's go to the chat in this one. Man, I got to think Toronto. I mean, I'm not going to bag on the White Sox just yet. And they did get the win yesterday, but let's go to it here. All right. Flaherty says Timmy Two Shoes. And wow, Scuba liking baseball here for the first time. It's a grind. But you know what? It's a good grind, and it's what gets you through. In handicapping, it's a slow time of year, no doubt about it. We're glad we've got the playoffs still to come. But once you hit the dog days of summer, okay, Cal Dog says Blue Jays on the run line. Timmy says you got to go over maybe here in this one. Man, I think I agree with Timmy there on that one. Let's see here. Timmy says Chicago White Sox team total over. Gazzo says take the Sox on the run line here. I just don't know if I can do that. I think Toronto might get one here after losing yesterday. I kind of want to take the Blue Jays actually on this run line on the road here in this one. Toronto's a bit volatile, but this feels like fade the Sox time to me after the extra inning win yesterday. Look, Toronto's still got a good team this season. I'd say, nothing, no problem here with 4-3. Wind blowing out to left center here, 14 miles an hour tomorrow. So we'll see this Toronto lineup so far. Sanchez here hitting 375. Vladdy's hitting 300. Clement 320. Jimenez 364. Heineman, the bottom of the lineup's been better than the top of the lineup. For the White Sox here, trying to find some guys that are doing anything, but really not much of anything here. Tristan Peters, big hit there for the White Sox, but look at these guys right now. Medrath 222. Murakami's cooled down here to 238. Hasn't gotten a hit in a week, it seems like. Vargas 263. Okay, but Austin Hayes 158. Benintendi 200 so far. Luis Angel Acuna, a 200 batting average here. So I'm going to take the Blue Jays in this one on the run line here at -1.5. And a little bit of plus money here in this one for Toronto at -1.5 at plus 100, even money. All right, chat time. Let's see if anybody's got this one here. Blue Jays run line for Cal Dog. We saw that one already. Okay, here's Sox run line. Let's see. That is it. That is it from you guys. Let me move on. We're going to keep moving on here and go to, whoa, the Dodgers are up to 300 here. You know, when I wrote down my lines here several hours ago now, but still, the Dodgers are already they were 260. Now I think they're 300 here. It might even be higher right now. Let's see here. I think like I said, we're going to just touch on that doubleheader today with Milwaukee and Kansas City. We're only these other games we're going to go over, but we'll touch on the doubleheader a little bit there with the Brewers and the Royals. But for glass now here up to $3, 9.5 over 15 coming into this one. Pretty big mismatch here versus Jake Irvin for glass now here. Look, there's also Dodgers here have some guys who really hit Jake Irvin well, actually. You do have Kyle Tucker, an extra base hit. Will Smith, 333 average with a home run and a couple of doubles there. Ohtani, 4 of 11 with a double in there. Teoscar has 2 home runs off of Jake Irvin. Pages also a home run off of Irvin. So they've definitely done some damage here against Irvin here, who comes in with a pretty bad numbers against the Dodgers overall. So let's see what you guys have here in this one between the Dodgers and the Nationals. Dodgers were smashing the ball yesterday in the early innings and went on for the big victory. Washington has now lost 3 straight games. They come in here with losses to Philadelphia, and then the game yesterday was 13-6 in favor of the Dodgers. Dodgers are 5-2 so far this season. Washington 3-4. We're definitely in run line territory here. Washington's 5-2 against the spread on the run line. I tried them yesterday and failed, so why would they be any better today? The Dodgers are just 3-4 against the spread on the run line here so far this season. So let's see what you have here with these two. Also, that was a game I just didn't have it going at all. I went under in that game as well. The Dodgers smashed the Nationals like they pretty much always do. I don't know what I was thinking there, but let's see what you guys have in this one, and then I'll make my call, I guess, here with the Dodgers on the road. Good numbers against Washington. They've won 4 out of their last 5 meetings between the two teams. 7 straight meetings now between these two teams have gone over. Something wants me to go back to the under again. It's probably because of that big old 9 sitting out there, but let's see what you guys have in the chat. I might just have to go over still anyways after seeing what happened yesterday. All right, Scuba said he picked the Astros because everyone was saying that they were good, but they got smoked. Cal Dog's on the over here. Gazzo likes the over as well. Jermaine likes the over. That's a consensus play here on the over. I can tell you that for sure right now. LA team total over for Timmy. And could be home run derby. All right, I think you guys have made your call clear here right now. Jermaine says, don't be stubborn, just do it. Just take the over, right? Go with the crew. Well, I probably should go, with the crew, but you guys are all over the over. I don't need to reiterate it or anything like that, and I'll leave it to a great play like that. I'm not going to go against it here on the show. I better just go with the Dodgers here on the run line today. Man, I just, Washington does have a 5-2 record as on the run line so far this year, but that ball was sailing out. The Dodgers they couldn't even get anybody out there right in the first inning there. I mean, what was the score there? 3 to 7-0. No, I'm sorry. Washington led the game 3-0. Then the Dodgers got 5 in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 4 in the fifth. That's right. And then they kind of put them away. Even the run line here on the Dodgers, that was a minus 165 right now, and that's man. All right, man. What can I do? I only take a few different options here. That's the way I play the game here right now. Maybe I'm supposed to go with the over. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll take the over. You guys are, I'm switch. I'm doing it. I'm just going with the chat here. I'm going with the over, and I got to listen to the chat. My computer does say over here the algorithm with my ratings that it's an under game, but probably because it just hates the number 9. In fact, it says 9.5 here on screen, but I believe here, no, it is 9.5. Technically, I would just go under, but I'm going to go over with you guys. I'm doing it. All right, Mr. Wester says this is like a $5 favor with the Avalanche. All right. Well, we just talked about it, right? The Astros, because they're supposed to be good, but the Athletics are quietly building something. Look, they're 2-5. I don't want to speak the wrong space here, but the A's are starting to build their roster a little bit, making their move, getting ready for their move to Las Vegas. The team is going to improve once it gets here as well. The whole thing will be good. The talk here in Vegas is, are we getting oversaturated with professional sports? Vegas is a professional sports town. I mean, this is a big time sports town, way better than my old hometown of San Diego, where they can't even keep their professional teams there. But nonetheless, here with this A's team, they did crush it yesterday in their first appearance at home in Sacramento. And, they've got some guys really hitting. For Houston, that was their first loss in a few games. They were on a winning streak here, so they're 5-3 coming in here right now, 3-2 as a favorite so far. The Athletics 1-5 as an underdog. Athletics are also 2-5 to the under, but Houston is 6-2 to the over so far. Coming into this one. All right, and for the Astros here, you've got making his second start, Tatsuya Emai, 13.5 ERA, 2.63 WHIP in that first start, 4 strikeouts. Not great, but he is going up here against Luis Morales, 10.38 ERA, 1.62 WHIP. You saw the big time runs there by the Athletics. Yes, Houston got rocked, but it won't take much for the other team, talking about the Astros, to probably hit some out of the park as well. We know last year that this stadium, was a big time over stadium for the most part all season long, and no reason why it won't be this year as well. In fact, if the A's keep hitting like this, they'll probably even do better than that, or better offensively than last year. Langoliers, what a hitter he's been so far with his home run prowess. The rest of the team is not really hitting that well, but they did yesterday. So let's see what you guys have, though, here in this one with the Astros taking on the Athletics. We'll go to the chat. And let's see. And Timmy says, what's Base Winner doing? What's Base Winner doing? You see him on the shows, and make a pick, Base Winner. Make a pick once in a while. You're on these shows. Look, great hearing him, but all right, Jake Urban over to his K's back there. And let's see here. Astros for Gazzo. Might have to go back to the A's here, says Mr. Weskers. Garcia home run. Cal Dog says the park is small. Yeah, they call it the Matchbox, I think is what they call it. Cal Dog on the over. Timmy's going over here as well. I mean, how's it not going to go over tomorrow with this matchup and these two pitchers with a 10 ERA in their first game of the season. Now, last night was a night game. This is a day game. Not that that matters just yet, but wind blowing out to center, 4.5 miles an hour. Temperature here is 75 degrees. And I'm going to take the over. I'm going to take the over in this one. Give me the over with the Astros and the A's. Next up, Connor Griffin and the Pittsburgh Pirates are taking on the Orioles and Shane Baz. For Baz here, 6.75 ERA in this one, and Carmen Mlodzinski goes here for the Pirates. Pirates winners of 3 in a row now after yesterday. Man, 5-4 win. They beat the Reds in their last 2 games on the road here. Here are the Pirates with a winning streak. Here Baltimore comes in with the 3-4 record so far into this one. You got the Bucks here, an underdog with Mlodzinski going up against Shane Baz. But man, this is some positive mojo. Feels like right now for the Pittsburgh Pirates and superstar Connor Griffin. Your KG, the real KG here. What a moment! What a interview! You know what KG likes to say. Let's go. He was ready to play too yesterday for sure. So look, you got the Pirates here as a dog with all this momentum, 3-game winning streak right now. Stax McKelvey was out there tailgating. I hope he went into the game. Maybe, Stax, I'm not saying he'd get caught up in like me, staying out there in the parking lot the whole game, as long as I can pick up the reception on the TV here. But you know what? This one might be a little bit lower scoring here. Yesterday, 5-4. I mean, I don't know how much lower it can go, but with the total here at 8.5, I'm kind of thinking under, but let's see what you guys have maybe in this one with the Orioles and the Pirates here today, and I'll make my call. But let's see what I want to hear from you guys. Mlodzinski does have, let me see, I think he's got some BVP actually versus these guys. He's already been through these guys one time here last year, and he mowed them down. Gunnar was 0 for 1. Mayo 0 for 1, Basallo 0 for 1, Alonso 0 for 3 against Mlodzinski. Of course, he did it with the Mets there, and King of Mount Castle. So Mlodzinski did have a good appearance against these Orioles previously last year in a start. He faced 11 batters and gave up just 1 hit and 1 walk and 1 RBI, striking out 3. So, pretty good, pretty interesting there that Mlodzinski's faced these guys with a little bit of success. And, I think could be a problem here. I don't want the Orioles, I don't think, as a favorite in this game. I think I'd prefer the Pirates here with Carmen Mlodzinski going for the former South Carolina Gamecock himself. And I'm going to take the Pirates here in this one. Let's see what you got in the chat here. Some good picks coming in. Mr. West going to take the Pirates on the run line here. And Timmy says, he likes the look of the Bucks lineup right now. There's Shaq. He likes the A's over in that other game. Timmy likes the over here with the Pirates. Cal Dog's on the Pirates. And Scuba says, are the Pirates any good? They have a long, right now, pretty much a constant history of being one of the poorer teams in the league. Scuba, they don't really get a lot of free agents there right now, but they did just yesterday bring up a 19-year-old prospect, the number 1 prospect in Major League Baseball currently, and he debuted with a really strong performance, cracking an RBI double in his first Major League at bat. And he's probably going to go through some ups and downs, but the Pirates have been, bad for a long time. But this is a real big positive. This was big news. It was the story of the day in Major League Baseball here for Connor Griffin. All right, next up, my Padres are in Boston here, and like I said, look, I'm not one of those, or maybe I am, I don't know, but uh, I don't pick a premium, say, hey, I really know this team better, it makes it stronger. It's still gonna dot the I's and cross the T's, but I did have Boston as a premium there yesterday against the Padres. Boston coming, and that was going against Michael King too, who pitched at Boston College and got a nice ovation there from Boston fans. Now he's not wearing a Yankee uniform. For the Padres here, though, you do have Randy Vasquez, the former Yankee, who was terrific in his debut. No ERA, 0.83 whip, and 8 strikeouts. He is a pretty good pitcher who is going to be able to have some good success against uh, I call it mediocre teams. Boston's just 2-5 right now as well. Both these teams are 2-5. A little bit awkward here so far this season with these two. I think both are expecting better seasons than they're off to right now. I have my concerns about the Padres this year for sure, especially in the manager department. And I think it is actually going to be their downfall in the end. The Padres are a team that sometimes you see teams hire someone that it looks like a retread, or that's what they needed. The Padres needed I don't want to say maybe a Dusty Baker type or someone like that has been there, done that, has a total enough experience that he's going to be able to command respect from the clubhouse, because the Padres are a little bit loosey goosey with their personalities. They're good guys. I know everybody makes fun of Manny here, Tatis a little bit, and the showmanship of the Padres, but you know what? There's a little bit to that too, and I think it hurts them a little bit in the end. But I'm not gonna. My allegiance will not sway, but still, Tatis 238 so far, Machado 263. These are okay averages in today's major leagues. But Ramon Laureano, my man, he's been awesome so far here. Meanwhile, for Connolly early here of the Red Sox comes in with just a 1.68 ERA, 1.3 whip, 6 strikeouts in his debut, as well as did not get the win. But look, Red Sox here going to be favored a $1.45, total 8.5. Says 8 there on the screen. And yeah, it's 8. In fact, boy, it's 8. It's even shaded to the under here a little bit right now. 8 under 15. And yesterday's score was 5-2 as the Red Sox won in their season opener. Padres are 2-4 to the under so far, but 2-1 to the over as an underdog. Meanwhile, for the Red Sox, 4-3 to the over. Yesterday's game, 7 runs, did go under there in that one. So go ahead with the chat, see what you think here. The Boston Bats are definitely trending upward here against Vasquez, of course, former division opponent. So they have seen Vasquez, and they've had a little bit of success against him. Overall, just a 241 average for the Red Sox against Vasquez, 311 slugging, no home runs, 2 doubles there. But some of the guys here in the lineup for the Red Sox have hit him a little bit anyway. Duran 1 for 2, Wilson Contreras 1 for 2 as well. So let's see what you have here though in this one. It feels like it's an expensive price here, $1.45, $1.50, but I might be back on Boston here. Let's go to the chat. All right, Mr. Wesker says he loves fading those Padres. Scuba says he's cooking up a parlay. Timmy says Ozuna and Lowe. And Mr. Wesker is going to fade King this season. Timmy likes the over here. Let's see. Cal Dog says take the Red Sox again. And Mr. Wesker is always concerned with these Padres here. And Shaq says the Padres might be tempting here at this price. Look, I think Vasquez here is a pretty strong pitcher. Early might have good numbers too here. The total's getting lower and lower. The value might have already left the window. So let me take the under here in this one for a free play because I still think it's an under game here today. And not getting that 8.5 anymore. But look, I like Vasquez. I'm as a Padres observer, I think most people are getting Vasquez wrong if they think he's on the minus side, if you will. Timmy says San Diego's a major league team, but a minor league city. Miami's going to take on the Yankees here with Max Meyer going up against Weathers here, the left-hander for the Yankees. He's $1.85 here. Look, I mean, Meyer is the prospect here. Ryan Weathers is more the veteran, although, he's never really got his career going, the son of a former major leaguer. 2.07 ERA, though, so far. Meyer, 5.4 ERA. Yankees winners of 3 straight now. They pretty much pummeled them yesterday, 8-2 for yet another win. The Yankees, so far, they've allowed just 8 runs so far in the 7 games. That's a major league, tied for a major league record. I think they said for fewest runs allowed so far in a major league in the season. So to start the season, so the Yankees are pretty much on fire here to begin. Marlins are 5-2, but did lose the opener there on their first road game. Miami is 4-3 to the over, but the Yankees are 1-4-1 to the under as a favorite coming into this one. Again, I kind of feel like another under here to a certain extent, but let's take a look here. You got to look at it from a run line perspective. The Yankees are 5-1 on the run line so far as a favorite. Miami, believe it or not, this is only, they were underdogs yesterday. They were a favorite in every game prior to that. So look, maybe against weaker competition, Miami's graduated enough that they'll be better. But against a team like the Yankees, it was a boom shakalaka from the get-go there yesterday. The Yankees did trail 1-0, but led 4-1 after 2 innings. It was 4-2 after 5, but then 4 runs in the 6th, 7th, and 8th innings there pulled away for an 8-2 win there yesterday for the Yankees. So let's see here. I don't necessarily want to trust them, but man, they're just so good right now. Miami is definitely clicking offensively this season. There, if you had to look up and down this lineup, you'd think they're undefeated. Well, they almost are, but remember who they were playing. But some of these guys have done a nice job. Xavier Edwards, Sanoa here, but you do have a few guys. Also Lopez hitting over 300, but you do have a few guys. Marcy's not quite cutting it yet. But the offense has looked okay. Let's go to the chat here in this one. And Yankees minus 2.5 here for Jermaine here. And Mr. Westers will lay 2.5 as well. Man, there's a strong on the Yankees here. Cal Dogs liking the over. And that might be it from the chat here in this one between the Marlins and the Yankees. The Yankees bullpen so far, 1.57 ERA. Maybe Miami was performing a little bit early. I don't know if that's suppressed the line here now at $1.85, but I'm sure the Yankees can handle this one. Total here is what, 8 under 15? Is that, what do we say? 8 under 15 there? I don't want to get too carried away with my unders right now, but man, so far, I mean, you got, like I said, Yankees 1-4-1 to the under as a favorite, and they're pretty much, it's, they're shutting teams out, shutting them down. So it's just a matter of, do the Yankees score 6-7 runs and win it? Even 7-1 is still 6-1 is still an under here. Oh boy. And I don't want to say it's gonna be. You got to be realistic. I mean, I should probably say 5-3 or maybe 6-2, but Cal Dog over. I think we said that. Tremaine says 7-3. Says that's an over. 7-3 here. I mean, if the Yankees gave up 3 runs, that'd be almost basically almost. They've only given up 8 runs all season. And Mr. Westcoast ain't going to lay any negative odds on run lines here. Marlins pitch in on the over, though. He does have them scoring here against these guys right now. Okay. I'm going to take the under here. Look, I have a couple of overs here already, so I'll take the under here in this one with the Yankees and the Marlins. All right, next up. Like I said, I'm kind of skimming over that doubleheader there tomorrow. Hope that's okay with everybody. Got a huge card here. We'll try to touch a little bit on it, but Reds and the Rockers here. Reds and the Rangers here with Kumar. Rocker missed the start right there the first time, but here he is for Texas now, $1.45. Total 8 here. Texas loses of 2 straight. The Reds got the win yesterday in this one by the score of 5-3. Both teams come in here 4-3. Texas losing their home opener yesterday, but here they are, going to be a bit of a favorite here in this one at minus $1.40 here in this one, going up against young pitchers here. But I think Kumar Rocker is the guy that we're kind of focusing on here, and see how he does in his first start of the season. Here going up against a guy in Louder who did already pitch once, a 3.6 ERA, 1.0 whip, 5 strikeouts in 5 innings, allowed 3 hits and 2 runs with a couple of walks in his debut here. So let's see what you have, though, in this one with the Reds taking on the Rangers here today in Texas as we move into the late afternoon games here, 4 Eastern and 1 Pacific time. Here in this one. Let's go to the chat and see what you have with Rocker here on the mound. Okay, it's going to be Mr. Westers cannot back the Rangers here. And that might be it from the chat in this one so far. Maybe I can hit on it a little bit here anyway with the Reds here in this one. Look, getting plus $1.20 here right now. They were able to get the win there yesterday. Did a nice job, I thought, in that game. So Reds coming in here right now. Like I said, 4-3, but they are 3-1 over under. But Texas 4-1-2 to the over here so far. That's where I'm going to go. I'm going to take another over here. Give me the over of the Reds and the Rangers in this one. Okay, let's see here. Oh, we did it again. Oh, Robot Glock showed up. Oh, here comes all the Reds. Here we go. Let's see here. Robot Glock showed up. Hello. He's on the Reds. He says Rocker's going to get rocked. And Timmy will go with the Reds, though, in this one. Rocker good, but he's not that good. How good do you have to be to shut down the Reds so far? Now, I don't want to get too down on these guys, but Friedel 091, he did hit his first major league home run here, and that was cool, man. Mookie got the ball back, and well, that's an old story. What am I talking about? Wasn't that an old story? What was I seeing there? Was I doom scrolling there? That was last year. Uh, uh, McLean at $1.90 here. De La Cruz $2. Stewart's been great, 474 right now, one of the hottest hitters in the league. Eugenio 217. Steer 059. Stevenson 077. Brian Hayes a no-show so far as a red. So, okay, I think that's it from the chat here in this one with the Reds and the Rangers. I'll go with the over in this one. Rays and Twins here. Steven Matz going against Abel here. Mick Abel. Minnesota, winners of 2 straight. Tampa's lost 3 straight all of a sudden. Minnesota won the game yesterday 10-4. They rocked Tampa Bay yesterday at home. They were scoring there big time there. It was a 3-0 Rays when Minnesota scored 3 in the 4th, and they got 7 runs in the 7th inning and cruised on to the victory there in that one. You've got here Minnesota just about $1.15 favorite. Closely rated game here against Tampa. Tampa just 2-5 so far. I raved about the lineup, but so far not so good for the Rays here. The left-hander Matz comes in here after his first start, 7.2 ERA. 1-0 record, though. He got the offense on that day. For Mick Abel, 13.5 ERA. Lost his debut, actually. It's got to be a little bit better for these pitchers, I would think, here today. Might be hard to recommend an under, but man, it's 7.5. See what you got here, though, with these two. And for Minnesota, they're 3-4 overall. Did win their season opener there. Tampa Bay is 6-1 to the over. Like I said, they can hit. Their pitching's been a little bit off, no doubt. And for Minnesota here, 3-4 to the under, although 2-0 to the over as favorites here in this one. So let's see what you think here with Tampa Bay and Minnesota. Both guys, big ERAs so far in that first game. Nothing from the chat pros here in this matchup. Okay, Tampa's bullpen, though, 10.48 ERA. I believe right now the worst in the league. So that's why you're seeing this one go over. I would think even average offense might push this one over here in this matchup. I'm going to have to take the Minnesota Twins here, actually, in this one. Give me the Twins at home with a bell. Not too enthralled with Steven Matz here at this point. I don't want to say he's on the downswing, but just going to have to see what he can do this year and if he is going to be a competent major league pitcher right now. I'm going to take Minnesota to win again here. Cal Dogs got the over here. Robot Glock says take the Rays in the first 5. All right, next up, the Braves are on the road taking on the Diamondbacks. What a pitcher's duel last night. Braves finally broke through in the top of the 9th inning for a couple of home runs there back-to-back and got the win to take out the Diamondbacks last night. Braves improved to 6-2 right now. Man, they got to be feeling pretty good here at this point. And then now they have Bryce Elder looked good in that first start, picked up the win, 5 strikeouts, no earned runs, and a 1.0 whip. For Arizona, Soroka also was overpowering. No runs allowed, 10 strikeouts, and a 1.0 whip as well as he won his first game. So both pitchers looked strong. Both pitchers coming off good games. Total 9.5 here. Like they're just going to wipe it out. Now, I believe Tony said on the show one more day uh, with the roof open here tonight. For the day game tomorrow, they will close it. Look, it was 2-0 last night in a game with the roof open there. Now, to be fair, the game the other night was 17-2. But one team did get off because they were beating them up. Still, in that one, Arizona only scored 2 runs. So, not saying that 17 that's abnormal. Of course, that's a one-off. And other than that, Soroka looked good in his first start here. So, what do you have in this one with Atlanta and Arizona? Atlanta slight favorite on the road here right now, and also the bullpen 1.27 ERA so far for Atlanta. Now Arizona's bullpen 8.44 ERA, but remember they just give up the 17 runs. That's going to affect anything after just 7 games into the season here. Okay, here we go. Cal, let's see here. I want to make sure I get this right. Let's see. Braves until they lose, says Cal Dog. Braves get to Soroka here, says Robot Glock. Tremaine liking the over, I think, in this one, and maybe an alternate over there. Man, okay, I don't know. I was thinking we'll get good pitching here tonight. I mean, I think the conditions with the roof open here is helping things a little bit right now. I'm going with the under here in this one with Atlanta and Arizona. All right. And a good point from Cal Dog. It says there's bigger bats here right now for this Atlanta team. Let's hope for Atlanta here. Hey, you want to say hello to Sound Man? He might be a little behind us there. He's talking about one of the UConn. We don't even know which UConn coach he's talking about in a way, right? No disrespect, Sound Man. But we're talking about both Gino and Hurley. Timmy says Snakes team total over here. All right. Both guys, were no runs allowed for these starting pitchers so far coming in. We'll say this. So Atlanta so far 1-7 to the under so far this season. Arizona is 5-3 to the over. Arizona comes in 5-3. Atlanta 2-0 on the road. And Jermaine says these guys are gas cans. All right. Everyone hates these guys. They just were dominant in their first outing of the season. Just, I know it's their first outing. Probably never going to be as good as you are in their first outing, right? No matter how you look at it. All right, let's keep it going. The major leagues tonight. We're having some fun here with the Cubs on the road here, taking on the Guardians. Saw the Guardians win 4-1 last night behind Joey Cantillo. And in this one, Cubs come in here 3-4. Guardians are 5-3 so far, but the Cubs are going to be favored in this one with Shoto Imanaga on the mound. Imanaga 7.2 ERA in that first start, lost it. Slade Ciccone on the World Tour, 12.46 ERA, 0-1 record so far. So these two pitchers got hit hard in their first starts of the season. That's for sure. For the Guardians here, they come in right now with a record of 5-3. As I said, they won the home opener yesterday, 4-1. Guardians are 3-5 to the under so far. Cubs are 3-4 to the under so far this season. Cleveland has done it all as kind of as underdogs here right now. So far, they're 4-3 as underdogs. They are also a pretty good bullpen, 3.64. That's not a great ERA, but I just think in general, I'm just saying Cleveland will probably be better than 3.64 in the end. Cubs might be overpriced, compared to the form here. We'll see. I mean, I know Imanaga is probably going to get the attention here as the potentially the better starter, but didn't look good in that first outing, and Cleveland was able to get the win here yesterday, 4-1. So Let's see how you've got it here with these two. I'm going with the Cleveland Guardians. Give me the Guardians again. I'll take them over the Cubs here on Saturday night. All right, and let's see here. Slade at home, says Jermaine.
Final.
Jimmy says, poor Scuba came in here looking for some baseball betting advice and then ran into our great crew in the chat and kind of maybe intimidated him a little bit. Or not intimidated, like these guys know what they're talking about. Guardians again here, says Cal Dog, and Timmy going over. And Soundman wants the under here. And Timmy says, don't forget about the weather, 15 miles an hour. Drizzling, should be just drizzling though. But 67 degrees here, wind blowing out. Here could see some runs for sure in this game, but I'll take the Guardians, okay? Give me the Guardians here. Jimmy says 80% chance of rain. Okay. Phillies are on the road taking on the Rockies. Now, not quite sure about the Rockies pitching plans. I think Chase Dolander here, but I don't think we officially know yet. Most of the sites, I believe, have undecided at this point. So, my job here is to try to get it right. We'll see, but I think Dolander could be the pitcher here tomorrow. Still, the Phillies at 2:30 coming into this one, and let's see how it works. We're gonna have to take a look at this one from a run line perspective for sure right now. And also, Dolander could have an opener though. Belozo, remember Belozo from last year? He actually could be the opener, and then Dolander. I don't know if it's vice versa, but it could be Belozo the opener for Dolander here, possibly. Got to brush up on my Rockies a little bit here. Philadelphia got the win there yesterday for the third straight win. They won it just 10-1. They've got 7 runs in the first. That was the team that had 7 runs in the first inning. They couldn't get out. They led 9-0 after 3 innings. So it was a blowout for sure for the Phillies yesterday over the Rockies. I'm sure we'll see that plenty of times with Colorado this year. When they were getting all those runs, I thought about what I said the other day, talking about Rockies, never really making an effort or a push to get any players here. Total here is probably going to be around 10.5, maybe 10 over 20 here. Luzardo was fine in his first start, but still kind of gave up some runs. He had 7 strikeouts, but does have a 9 ERA entering here. I don't think anybody, pause for concern, not cause for concern, I think, right now here with these two. Hey, Sydney's up 32-5. Hopefully you laid it. We're a long way to go, but all right, we got to look at this one from a run line perspective for sure. Let's see how you guys think about it with this one. But like I said, Phillies 4-3 right now, though, but with 3 straight wins. Phillies are just 2-5 as a run line favorite. Colorado's 5-2 as a run line dog. Those are some good percentages, man. I mean, but Phillies did just crush them there in the game yesterday. So it's going to be hard. It's only a, 7-game sample size, but it is one way and the other there with the Phillies. All right, let's see how you guys have it here in this one with the Phillies taking on the Rockies here tonight. Chat all-stars here. Let's take a look. All right. Soundman, Phillies versus Rockies game under, major under, he says in this one. All right. Hey, Brayson's there in the chat. Nice to see you, Brayson. Thank you for your basketball pick in there. And Luzardo at night. Give me a strikeout, says Timmy. Phillies on the run line, says Cal Dog. Luzardo is good at correcting a clunker. Great observation there. Phillies might get the run line on their own, says Robot Glock. Luzardo 10+ Ks today against this Colorado team. The Phillies look strong. I mean, I'd love to take a shot here with the stats anyway, favoring the Rockies here. Like I said, 5-2 ATS. That's pretty good. But oh man, who can really fade this Phillies team with Luzardo out there and the Rockies kind of piecemealing it together? It feels like coming into this game. All right. I don't think we really have a run line even out there and available right now. I mean, I can speculate on it and probably take it here. Probably still want to lean to the Phillies in this one, but all right. Let me see if the chat's got anything else, and I'll have to make the call here. All right. Scuba says the Phillies, maybe, huh? Phillies team total over here for Timmy Two Shoes. I mean, Phillies here are going to be, I'm just helping out here with Scuba in the chat. I mean, Philadelphia is going to be one of the best teams in the league this year. They'll be fine. They're 4-3 now. They'll be much better here. So, all right, just give me the Phillies here. I'll take them on the run line. We don't know what the run line is yet. I'm sure it'll be about minus $1.65 or so, and only so many plays I can make here, especially on a game where we don't have the official pitching here. But after seeing yesterday's first game here, I'll try the Phillies one more time and not going to get in their way, at least in this one. Maybe if the Rockies can convince me a little bit more, I'll take them on that run line next time. Now, like you said, Rockies 5-2 as a dog on the run line, and Philly 2-5 as a favorite on the run line so far. Here's the Mets taking on the Giants. The Mets were able to beat up the Giants there yesterday. Here's Clay Holmes, 3.17 ERA, 1-0 record. Landon Roop has no ERA so far, 0.67 whip, 7 strikeouts, and a victory. Looked good in his first start of the season here. Mets favored. $1.30, total 7.5. Final score yesterday was 10-3 as the Mets got to him early. And often 2 runs in the first, 3 in the fourth to go on to that victory there. So we'll see what happens with them today. San Francisco's 3-5 right now, 2-5 as an underdog for the Mets here. They are 4-4, probably expecting better, but they've gotten away with it so far despite a few offense not quite clicking so far this season for these guys, but I kind of trust the pitching here in this one. Maybe Mets here 3-5 to the under so far. San Francisco 2-3-2 to the under as an underdog. I'm going to take the under in this one with the Mets and the Giants. Give me the under tonight here in this one. And we've got Timmy Two Shoes, Phillies. Well, let's see. Nothing in this game here. Okay, let's see here. One more here. We've got the Mariners taking on the Halos in this one. You've got, Emerson Hancock. Say that one 10 times fast. And pitched very good in that first game. No runs allowed. 1-0 record here, 0.17 whip. He was off the charts. Basically, I think he had 1 walk, 9 strikeouts here for the Angels. Jack Kohanowitz, 11.25 ERA, did not look good in that first start. 3 strikeouts, 2.25 here in this one. Probably can look at this one from a run line perspective. Might be a little bit dicey at $1.65 on the money line, but Angels are 3-5 as a run line underdog so far. Seattle 3-3 as a run line favorite here. And I would think that Seattle can handle this one right now. I think it's a big pitching advantage for sure coming into this game. But maybe I'll just have to play it from a totals perspective here. But can the Angels get enough here at 9.5? I like it over, I think. But let me hear from you in the chat. I might have to hear from you in the chat first in this one. Here we go. Seattle has a 2.39 bullpen ERA so far, and I think Kahanowitz is very vulnerable in this game. Here we go. And let's see here. Under looks easy in this one, says Robot. Cal Dog likes the Mariners. Run line here for Seattle. Scuba says that's his team. Go Mariners. Hey, Scuba, how about the Seattle Supersonics? Can't wait. I'm so excited that the Supersonics are going to be back. You know they're going to, you got to go with the Supersonics name. I mean, they're not going to go away from that. Mariners run line for Robot Glock. And Jermaine says Emerson, Jermaine, he says gets back to his ways. I think Emerson is regarded as still a pretty good doesn't it? I mean, I think you're suggesting regression for Hancock. I think that's obvious, right? He's not going to have that incredible of a game again, but I don't know necessarily if Hancock, is going back to his way. I don't think there is a back to his ways. I think Hancock here is a pretty good prospect, but he's not going to do better than that last game, I would think. What's he going to do? Throw a no-hitter?
Final.
Robot Glocks took that other game there. Scooby says he'll be back with the Sonics. Yes, the Sonics. I love it. That's it for baseball. I got to make a pick here. Oh, man. I'm just going to take the Mariners on the run line. I'm going to take them on the money line, I'm afraid, here. Going a little conservative here. Look, we had a good day yesterday. Not as good as basketball, but I'm going to have to take $1.65. Okay, we're not going to do it too often. Maybe once a day. That's it for the major leagues. We got a 3-game NBA schedule here. We'll just brush over this one since it is a 3-game card. And let's get into it right away because we got all this hockey to go over. We're not going to, chop up the hockey too bad either, but you guys have been with me already nearly 2 hours, so let's keep it going. Wizards and Heat started off here. These are 3:10 Eastern, 12:10 Pacific, leads into the national semifinals in college basketball. Good timing here with this one. You do have the Heat here favored by 17.5 right now in the Tankathon. Total 248.5 in this one. If it goes over, they're going to need help from the Washington Wizards, and that might be ultimately the problem here. But the Wizards are 43-33 to the over, 21-17 to the over on the road here. So it does feel like, especially with the Heat having gone over in 8 of their last 10, and the trend of the overs here a little bit. Yes, Miami is just 19-19 over under as a favorite here, but that wasn't necessarily as a favorite in April where the scores are through the roof. Now it is 247. That's about as you're going to need basically here, especially with a 16. I'm telling you, I want to take the overs. I think what I'm saying, but I'm going to need it here with a basically 131 to 115. Would be the score here if it fell right on it. Where's Greg Gibson when we need him? And let's see here, though. I'm going over. I can't help it. I'm going over here. I'm sure it'll be 250 points in this one. Hopefully Washington does their share. That's the team you got to be worried about here. I think the Heat can definitely do what they're doing here. Washington's lost 4 straight again, including failing to cover in 3 straight, getting 14.5, 16, and 16.5. 2 of those were on the road against Portland and the Lakers. For Miami, they just scored 129 points in their last game. They also gave up 147 to Boston. They're in and over, so Washington just 14-24 against the spread on the road. Miami might win this one by 20 or more. Let's go to the chat here. Cal Dog might be going under here. Want to say hello to Zach Sanders in the chat today. Hello to Zach. He's on the Sixers, by the way. Robot says Bam points over. I don't know if he's just saying that because everyone was having fun with the memes today or yesterday. Every game over. Let's get to the hockey, says Jermaine. Scuba does like the Heat and the over. All right, Scuba. Heat team total over for Timmy. Jermaine says Bam goes over 30, and he's got 5 on it. Next up, the Spurs are going to take on the Nuggets in a big one here. Western Conference, 2-game lead here right now with the Spurs. Can close to 1 if they can win, but Denver's at home here. Spreads 1.5, maybe 2. Both teams on massive winning streak or strong winning streaks. Massive, strong, whatever. A good winning streaks. That's what they're on here right now with Spurs and the Nuggets. Spurs have won 11 in a row. The Nuggets have won 4 in a row coming in. Both teams hot. Denver here with wins over 5. I got them at 5 in a row right now, actually, after yesterday, right? Or 2 days ago. Wins over Utah, Golden State, Utah. Oh, Utah twice. That's what I got confused with. Dallas and Phoenix. Unfortunately, just 1-4 against the spread, though, for Denver right now. And, we had the gentleman come in. I think he got mad, right, when he said, against the spread's overrated. Well, I might have felt bad afterwards. So I disagree. I think the spread is the ultimate determination of what the public thinks about the team, right? Okay, so a team goes off and plays well, but that adds up. You can do it one time, no big deal. But when you cover the spread time and time again, right, that should be an indicator. Now, Denver is 1-4 against the spread in their last 5. San Antonio 2-3, though. Denver also, though, just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10, but 17-7 as an underdog this season. Could this still be the spot for San Antonio despite that? That's a pretty good number as a dog, although 1.5 here is a little bit different than getting maybe several more points, I guess, would be the way to put that. So let's see what you think, though, here in this one with the Spurs and the Nuggets here on Saturday. Big game, Saturday afternoon. Big Saturday afternoon game in the NBA, just like it was the postseason here already. All right, we ready to go to the chat in this one? Here we go. Spurs for Cal Dog. Over for Jermaine. Nuggets. Wemby. Got to lose at some point. Wait, Nuggets? Wemby. Well, I guess saying both teams have to lose at some point. Both been so hot. Now, Wemby is available to play. He's been a little bit injured here coming in, but I don't think it's going to be a total big. I'm going under here in this one, by the way. I mean, look, I'm all about a lot of these overs, but I think when you get two teams that are trying hard, maybe they both say, hey, we could freewheel this a little bit. We're both going to the playoffs, either number 1 or number 2 seed. But I think the Spurs know that this is something that they can do. And getting that home court advantage over the Nuggets would be so important right now because the Nuggets, can be that team. If they have that home court, they can ride it out. The Thunder can ride it out there. So didn't mean to characterize the Nuggets as playing for the top seed here. We know it's the Spurs trying to chase down the Thunder. Okay, let me get to the chat, though, here and see what you got. Spurs going to lose. The ref will do that Joker triple double there that always fakes them out. Tim Hardaway here to hit 4 threes. Hardaway on the injured list, by the way, but he is probable. Dimitri said the Heat will cover. Scuba says Spurs will cover the spread and it'll go over. He says the Nuggets play no D. That's going to be tough, right, in the postseason. Dimitri says he's got the Nuggets, though. Timmy's going over. Says there'll be a circus in here. Ida Kelly's up with me. She's up here. Last game of the season, Denver and Spurs will play again, she says. Oh, Kelly joining me here in the middle of the night. All right, I've got the under here in this one. All right, late night. This one's running up here against the national championship semifinals, the Pistons and the Sixers, but a great game nonetheless. 7:10 Eastern, 4:10 Pacific. You've got the the Denver, the Detroit Pistons here, favored by 1.5 total. 227. Both teams coming in with identical trends here. Detroit's won 2 straight right now. They've also been covering here pretty well of late. For the Pistons here, they're 4-1 against the spread in their last 5, 4-2 against the spread last 6 against Philly. Detroit's gone 8-2 straight up in their last 10. Philly, meanwhile, 4-1 straight up and against the spread in their last 5 games coming in. Philly's gone under in 4 of their last 6 games against Detroit. Detroit's gone over in 5 of their last 6 games overall coming in. For the Sixers here, they're 15-20 against the spread as an underdog. Detroit, meanwhile, 15-21 against the spread, or 15-21 to the under on the road. Did I say that right? I was contemplating that. That's why I stalled there. Philadelphia, 15-20 to the under as a dog. Detroit, 15-21 under on the road. I'm saying those stats, and I'm still going to go over, but the stats kind of point to the under here anyway. Jermaine says go over in this one. And Robot says Pistons still without no Cade, no Stewie in there, but still Pistons and the point, says Robot Glock. All right, and I think I'll have to make my call here in this one with Detroit and Philadelphia. And also here, Timmy says, you know what, go with Detroit because not only do we have Cade Cunningham problems, but we've got Joel Embiid problems today. I show Embiid is in the game here today, so I'm not sure, but I think it is kind of a big factor here. In fact, I'm taking the Philadelphia 76ers in this one. And that's going to do it for the basketball here. And I'm banking on Embiid being in there. That's why I'm having him here. But okay, that's it for the baskets. All right, we're not going to keep you too long here, but I'm going to hockey, and I'm going to go kind of fast here. Just pretty much the picks, I think, here tonight. And we'll start it off with the Red Wings on the road here, taking on the Rangers in this one. Detroit is fading a little bit here. It's so crucial right now as we dial up the standings to see what's going on. Detroit here now 88 points. That is the same as Ottawa. Also, Columbus has 88 points. The Flyers have 88 points. Wow, this is getting wild here in the Eastern Conference. Crucial game here for Detroit. They traditionally struggle against the Rangers, but we know it's different this year. Rangers at home, no good. And both teams trend heavily to the under, especially the Rangers at home. And, with this 6.5 out there now, let me see, what does it say? What do I have on the screen here? 6 over, but still probably prefer the under there. I'm showing some 6.5s out there actually, so maybe it's a premium. Give me Detroit here in this one at $1.40 for sure. I got to take Detroit here, no doubt about it. Red Wings money line for Timmy, and DeBrincat got a anytime goal here for Timmy. And Kelly says this is our nationally televised game here at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific. And Detroit has struggled in the heads-up matchup, she says, with this Rangers team. Can the Rangers turn one in here? We know they're done. I mean, not. We think about all the teams that aren't going to make the playoffs. We've been speculating the whole time. Who's in, who's out. The thing here is the Rangers have been out a long time, but 3-7 in their last 10 here right now. But like Kelly said, 1-7 record there for the Red Wings against the Rangers. But I'm going to say the Rangers are at a kind of a recent low point for sure. I'm going with Detroit. Kelly says Detroit in regulation here. Next up, the Wild are going to take on the Senators here. Evenly matched game here on the road with Minnesota, 42-21-12. Ottawa, 39-26-10. Looks like Gus. Maybe it's going to be Wallstedt in there and Reimer. I don't know if it's going to be Gus and Allmark here. I think we got the backups here on Saturday. Minnesota, $1.20 coming into this one for Minnesota here. It might be kind of a tough game on the road, actually, here. Ottawa, 5-1 run at home right now. Always plays well. The Western Conference teams have trouble in Ottawa. Minnesota road overs right now, 16 of the last 20 going over here. So at 6 goals, this probably is going to be an achievable number. It feels like to me. Minnesota 23-13 to the over on the road. And let's see here. Ottawa is 1-4 to the 4 of the last 5 meetings have gone under, though, however, between these two teams. Let's see how you have it here in the chat. Minnesota is definitely the more profitable team here in this role on the road anyway. And we'll see. Like I said, I've got the backups in here. So Minnesota here at even money, though, might be the play for me. But with the backups in there, it could go over. Okay, let me see if the chat has it first, and then I'll pick here. Okay. Can't pass up Mini at this price, says Timmy. And I think that's it here on this one. Okay, for Minnesota here, look, they are in the postseason. They're not going to blow it here, so they're not only in the postseason, they're probably locked into their position right now. Meanwhile, for Ottawa, they are in the wild card. They are in second place. They own all these tiebreakers here against these teams right now. Like I said, 4 teams have 88 points. Give me the Senators in this one. They have the motivation here instead of Minnesota. Like I said, I think Minnesota, I don't think they're getting out of this third place. I don't think they're going up. I don't think they're going down. Let me take Ottawa. All right, next up, we've got the Avs here on the road, taking on the Stars in a blockbuster matchup here at 3:07 Eastern and 12:07 Pacific, the second game of the ABC, a doubleheader here. Dallas and Colorado have both lost 2 of their last 3 games. So, but, nonetheless, a big, a bit of a division rivalry game here between these two, battling it out here for the top spot. Colorado's going to get it. Dallas is going to finish second. I don't know if there's a whole lot of meaning in this game. Yes, Colorado would like to get that number 1 seed overall in the league, but I think they're going to get it. And with just 6 games left. Now, in fact, Colorado has 8 games left and Colorado only 6. So that makes the lead even bigger here right now for the Colorado Avalanche. Could that favor the Dallas Stars here because they'll play a little bit looser maybe in this one? And, like I said, I don't think they're going to make up the 6 points because, Colorado have to start losing a bunch. And Dallas would have to win kind of the rest of them here. But Colorado's 10-1 road run right now is pretty impressive. It's probably the most impressive thing about this game. This matchup consistently flies over. Dallas, high-end offensive situation here. Yes, they are an under in general, but when the teams meet, it goes over. It did go under last time, however, but like I said, in fact, 3 of the last 5 have gone under, but 11 of the last 12 games here in Dallas have gone over. And I think the fact that the teams are, we know they're going to the playoffs, they're probably not going to change their position. I think that opens it up for the scoring here, less intensity on defense. Nobody's too worried about anything in this game. Give me the over with Colorado and Dallas. All right, and let's see here. If Blackwood's in, Timmy says he's playing Dallas. Kelly says go over and take Rantanen for a point. Timmy says McKenzie's not looking too good. Kelly says, look at this, 11-1 to the over when these two teams have met here in Dallas. Wow. All right. And it was 2-1, though, last time. Dallas there just a couple weeks ago, no doubt. But at that time, I don't think we knew as much as we do now. Well, hey, our Sydney minus 17 looking pretty good here. It's 57-6. Next up, the Bruins are at the Lightning here. With the Bruins had their winning streak ended last time out, still playing great. Tampa's won 3 of 4 right now. They just beat Pittsburgh 6-3 2 nights ago. Boston lost to Philly to have that winning streak snap, but man, they've been good here, Boston. Not only were they good at home, now they're starting to play well on the road. Man, what a year it's been for Boston. Unfortunately, they're looking up here currently at the teams in the standings. They are first in the wild card, but not in fourth place, certainly in the division here right now. Still pretty good run here, and they're going to make it. They're going to be in the playoffs. They're going to get the wild card. They're probably going to get the number 1 wild card here. I don't see them getting on enough rolls, so they might be over my stats. So Boston might be in a position where they feel like right now they're locked in. Tampa Bay, meanwhile, is tied with Buffalo with 100 points. They have way more motivation here than the Boston Bruins right now. It feels like Boston's kind of stuck in their place, and Tampa Bay has the motivation here. Now they're still going up against a good team in Boston, no doubt. And maybe the line is kind of jacked up, reflecting what we might be expecting in this game. In fact, I would imagine that Boston might not even have their antennas up here a little bit when it comes to the intensity factor, and maybe that does lead to kind of an over game. Boston's gone over in 12 of their last 16. They've also gone over in 4 of their last 5, and 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone over here. So I think Tampa's home dominance right now, 15 of their last 20. Boston kind of poor in this matchup, 2-6 in their last 8 games here. So I'm going to go over in this one with Boston and Tampa Bay. $1.80 does feel expensive, even if, like I said, Tampa has far more significant motivation than Boston, I believe, in this game. Got some comments here in this one. And Bruins are a fade on the road, says Jermaine. Yeah, but they played well here of late. They did lose to Florida there, and Florida's not having a good season. But they did beat Columbus. They beat Buffalo, remember, and Buffalo doesn't lose right now. Give me Boston, says Timmy. Tampa's won too many in a row. Tampa's won the last 3. Take Boston. He means in the heads up. Tampa's won both meetings this season. But they were both excellent games, I think. Let me see what the scores were here. 4-3, and then 6-5 back in February. That one went to a shootout. All right, Panthers here taking on the Penguins. Remember we said we got rid of all the games. If both teams are out of the playoffs, we're not going to talk about you. Well, got to keep talking about the Penguins. They're still here. They're still in right now, second place in the Metro. Now they are trying to stay ahead of the Islanders. A little bit of motivation here. Florida, they've long been. They're not eliminated, but they're not going anywhere. Still, I don't know if I trust Pittsburgh to get a puck line victory here in this one. That's probably where you'd have to go at minus 210 right now. Pittsburgh is 16-13 as a puck line favorite. That's actually quite good. Florida is a puck line underdog, 17-10 as a puck line dog there. So, pretty interesting numbers there. Florida was 17-10 as a puck line underdog. That's crazy. That's really good. Maybe this is an okay spot for Florida. Maybe they will be a little bit competitive. But I didn't realize 17-10 is a puck line dog. That is really good. I just say it so incredulously, right? When you're a puck line underdog, you're going to have to lay some chalk there a little bit, but it's just that, overall, they are also 17-10 as an underdog on the money line. So it just was kind of interesting there. All right, let's see what you have though here in this one. Maybe the Penguins are the spot. The Panthers are the spot here. Let's go to the chat here in this one and see what we've got. Okay, let's see. Kelly, says Saturday and Sunday, Florida at the Pens there. Wow, they're going to play the little 2-game set, huh? And Kelly's always got us covered here with our milestone goals. And Penguins team total over here for Timmy Two Shoes. All right. Look, I think this has got to be the best. This has got to be here with Florida and Pittsburgh. If this one doesn't get to 7 goals at least, this is an alternate, man. I'd go extendo here, I think, with the total in this one. Look, you've got these two teams combined 85 and 66 to the over. Florida 22 and 14 to the over on the road. Pittsburgh 21-16 to the over on the road at home. I got to go over in this one. Pittsburgh's gone over in 13 of 15. The series goes over. Florida's got defensive issues on the road for sure. Give me the over here. Kind of want to take Florida still, but I'll probably just bet it and not tell anybody. Kelly says they are a dead squad, no doubt. But like I said, I just think that that's an interesting record as a puck line dog when they haven't been that good. Okay, Chernikov there, Timmy's favorite, and he says Tarasov's terrible too. Okay, let's keep it moving here. We're doing a good job. We're moving along. We've got the Jets and the Jackets here. Like I said, I thought every game has one team at least with something to play for. As crazy as that sounds, couldn't get rid of one game here, really. Jets here and Columbus, obviously, another one here, right? You've got the Columbus Blue Jackets fighting for this situation here. They're on 88 points, so they're right there for Winnipeg. Now they're 3 points out. It's going to be pretty hard for them, but hey, they're still fighting. They're still alive here. Jackets $1.40. Somewhat reasonable price here, maybe for this matchup anyway. They need the wins. They're at home right now, and not only that, you got a situation here where Columbus trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. Winnipeg isn't great on the road, but maybe a little bit better structure. You hope it's not a collapse here for Columbus. They've done a pretty good job right now, but let's see what you think in the chat with this one. And then I think I'll make my pick after for this game. I'm showing Hellebuck and what am I showing here? Comrie and Merzlikins. I have Comrie and Merzlikins in here. All right. Let's see what we got here in this one. Andrew talking about that basketball game. Man, can you believe South Carolina? Terrific job there. Timmy doesn't mind Comrie here. Maybe he can hang in this one. Man, the Jackets need this. Are they really in the tailspin here right now? I don't want to panic for these guys. Remember, they were in the playoffs just a week ago, basically, and now they're not because of this current tailspin right here. So, still feels like they should, or maybe be the team that can get it done at home. I'm going to say they snapped the streak. I'm going with Columbus here against Winnipeg. Snap this losing streak right now. I think if you look at the head-to-head, it's been all Winnipeg, but Columbus did win one game last year against them. Man, this has been a Winnipeg series here for sure. Let me see what the numbers say overall before I embarrass myself. Winnipeg's won 4 out of the last 5, so 12 of the last 18 between the two teams have gone over here. Maybe that was I don't even know if that's the answer. All right. Let's keep it moving here right now with the Islanders taking on the Hurricanes. I mean, you got to look at this one. You got the Hurricanes here in first place. They have a little bit of motivation. They're trying to get the top seed in the Eastern Conference. They are in charge of that right now. The Islanders, meanwhile, trying to, they're in third place. They're probably going to hang on to at least a wild card here, but they've lost 3 in a row. They're also kind of slipping here. It's kind of an important game. It feels like the line is maybe too high for Carolina here, but let's see. Islanders need this one, no doubt about it. That's got to give them a little bit of extra motivation. And like I said, I don't think Carolina does want to keep winning, obviously, but they're nearly automatic at home versus the Islanders. They've won 6 straight, 14-3 overall home run right now, and maybe the Hurricanes are probably pitched to take these guys out. Now that I look a little deeper here, Hurricanes kind of on a roll. We know that, but trying to pump up the Islanders. But the more you look at it, I'm just not sure that it's a good matchup here for the Isles. Let me go to the chat, see if anybody's doing anything here. Nope, nobody's doing much at all. So that's going to put the pressure back up, put the pressure on me. All right, I'll just make my call on this one. Give me Carolina on the puck line. Carolina to continue rolling here. I will do it. Give me Carolina on the puck line. -1.5 at even money or so. Over for Timmy. Maple Leafs on the road taking on the Kings. Maybe this is one game we could have not did here with the Kings. Total collapse here right now. It's been painful. They're still tied technically with 79 points with Nashville, with San Jose. The wild card is great in both conferences right now. Meanwhile, for the Leafs, we know they're not going anywhere. They're down there at the bottom with Florida. So the Kings need this one, man. But, man, they're just choking right now. And I just feel like Toronto's angry here. No Matthews for we know he's been out for a while. Toronto's actually won a few games here. Kings need this one so bad, but I'm so down on this team. Watching them is painful at this point. Toronto here, 15-27 as an underdog, but the Kings 19-26 as a favorite, 11-17 at home. At $1.50, I got to take the Leafs. Give me the Leafs. Maybe I'm not an emotional hedge guy on any of these shows. You're not supposed to do that. Talking head show. I'm on the Leafs because the Kings are painful to watch. If anybody watched that, Tony and I joked about it today. If anybody watched that Kings shootout against Nashville, the Kings went 0-8, and Nashville finally broke through in the 8th round to go 1-7 as 15 shots were missed. It felt like your old Monday night broom ball league, the way that it looks so slow out there. Has anybody ever played broom ball? You go out there with your sneakers and your jeans and a broom and you play hockey with a bunch of co-ed, like a co-ed, and everybody's going real slow because, you're in tennis shoes. And then there's that one jerk that actually has broom ball shoes with little tiny golf spikes on them. Anyways, we kicked that guy out of the broom ball league. All right, give me the Leafs in this one. Jimmy's got the over here. We got to keep moving. Mammoth here taking on the Canucks. Mammoth, a $2 favorite on the road. What? But maybe, you know what? Maybe you look sometimes, hey, maybe we'll take Vancouver here. I don't know if I can do it in this one. I don't think I can do it in this one at all. All right, let's look at it, though, and try to give them a chance. This one, all these are hockey night here, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Vancouver actually won a game the other night, beat Colorado 8-6 in that incredible game. But for Utah here, look, they are in right now, leading the wild card, and I think that's where they're going to be. In fact, if anything, it does feel like the Mammoth could be in that complacent position here that could make them be a little bit lax even against a team like Vancouver. Now they are on a roll, and they have won 2 in a row here. I think they still look pretty good here. I'm trying to make an excuse, see if I can think about getting Vancouver, but Utah's surging. Vancouver's lost 7 of 8. I think the blowout script probably is still live. Total here, though, maybe the total is the way to look for this matchup, because you got Vancouver here, 24-14 to the over at home, 36-28 to the over as a dog here, and you got Vemmelka and Lankinen going in this one. I'm going to take the Mammoth on the puck line, but I might be saving that total here for tomorrow. All right, let's see here. Jermaine says, are the goalies confirmed? No, I don't know if there's any confirmed goalies at all yet. But if you're asking if my goalies, I do think that over the season here, and you guys have been with me. I mean, we can't get them all right. I do like my goalie predictions. Eventually, we do actually have one. Sorokin, I think it said here. Sorokin confirmed for the Islanders. I'm sorry about that. Let me get it right here. Gibson and Quick are confirmed in the Red Wings and Rangers game. So I just said we got them. We usually get it right, and that one, I think we had it wrong. Oh no, we had it right. We had it right on that one. Sorry about that. Let's see, but do we have any other goalies confirmed? I don't think we do. Nope. Just that first matchup here. I mean, after all, it is already only 7 hours away. Okay, I'm just taking Utah here to keep it rolling right now. Next up, those Sabres. Taking on the Caps here in this one. Buffalo, $1.15 here. Washington's won 3 of 4 right now, but probably too little, too late at this point for the Capitals. They are only 3 points behind, but they have to pass the 3 points behind 4 other teams that have 88 points. So, yeah, they could do it, but Capitals got to start winning here right now with 6 games left. and they've got Thompson here for Buffalo. Meanwhile, what a run. They're on 100 points. So they're going to be fully engaged and motivated here. You have two teams that are most likely kind of under teams, it feels like anyway. Buffalo 17-21 to the under on the road. Washington 15-24 to the under at home here. And Buffalo, it feels like the road has been good for Buffalo right now. It's still going to be kind of tough going up against this Washington team, but they've been fine on the road for the most part. Buffalo's one of the most profitable teams in the league, 13.5 units. Washington home games do lean under, although the matchup here between these two, I think, has been mostly an over. It did go under in the last game here 3 weeks ago, 2-1. Washington won on the road. So I think the current form, though, maybe says under here, especially at a 6.5. Let's see, at a 6.5 here. Like I said, Washington home games definitely more of an under trend here, I believe, in this one. So, all right, let's see what you guys have here. I think the Sabres should still do this. They do need it here. Washington could say they need it, but I think Buffalo's. They've actually lost a few games. They haven't lost this many games in since the second half of the season. When I say they've lost 3 of 5. I got to take Buffalo in this one. I think I like the total a lot too. I was just stalling because I'm like, man, I might have to save. I like both, but I think the total maybe is a little bit more available for me here because there's a chance at Washington. They're still motivated, knowing they still are breathing. Even Washington thinks they got to have a little bit of a chance here, even though it seems unlikely. Okay, no hockey unders for Jermaine. Timmy played Buffalo despite the wonkiness of the game. And that's a big total. Yeah, it is a big total. That's true. Okay, got a few more here. Thanks for bearing with me. Just a few more games to go here on our card. We've got the Canadiens and the Devils here. Canadiens on the road, $1.20 going up here to take on New Jersey. And, hey, Montreal, one of the hottest teams in the league here. Again, all of a sudden, I'll say it like that because they've already had a few good streaks, but they really hadn't been doing too much of late, just been cruising along. They're in the postseason, I'm sure, right now. I mean, not officially, but on 98 points. I don't think they're going to fall out of the position here. They're probably going to finish in third, but hey, they could still catch Tampa or Buffalo if one of those teams goes into a little tailspin. I don't think they're going to fall out of favor here in the top 3 or so. They guess they could fall to the wild card, but I don't think they will. New Jersey, meanwhile, probably done. They're 8 points out right now. Does feel like just barely including them in the preview here, mostly because it's about Montreal. They're red hot with 7 straight wins and 5 straight unders. So you know how and why they're doing it. And the total's 6.5 here as well. So Devils lean over, but I think with what Montreal's doing right now, you got to think that here with this run that maybe under, especially at 6.5 here, that might be the spot to go to. But let me hear from you in the chat if you want with this one with Montreal here on the road. Sorry, gang. Timmy says I have to play Montreal. The Habs do own these guys. Yeah, it's a series ownership for Montreal right now over New Jersey. No, let me look at that. I don't think that's right. New Jersey's won 4 straight meetings between the two teams overall. coming in. So Montreal's gone under in 5 straight, but New Jersey's gone over in 11 of its last 15 games in here right now. So Montreal on the road, pretty good. And yes, I think the motivation is somewhat there at this point, and New Jersey has to know that they're kind of a Dunsky. So I think at $1.20, I gotta go with Montreal here for their 8th straight win right now. Give me Montreal. New Jersey's got to know they're done. Next up, the Predators are taking on the Sharks. Here with Predators on the road. They're a slight dog here. Sharks at home. Man, it's been a good run here. Hey, they're not done. Sharks are in that group of 88 points right now. 79 points. They are technically in the playoffs here, passing up Nashville. They've won 4 in a row. Sharks have been hot, man. Right now, Nashville's lost 3 of 4 coming in here. So I feel like the Sharks can keep this up right now at this point. This is a crucial game, and a game that I think that they can win. Now, Nashville's owned the Sharks, no doubt. They've won 10 straight and 6 straight here in San Jose. One of the strongest historical edges right now in the entire league. But the Sharks have found themselves right now in the playoff picture. Who are they ahead of? The Nashville Predators. They both have 79 points coming into this game. So do the Kings. Technically, they all have 79, but the Sharks have the tiebreaker here right now, but they can really do it with a win. And I think under here would be probably the way to look. This is going to be a tight game, and San Jose as a favorite, 2-7 to the under this year. I think they're still the favorite. They should probably go off the favorite. And they've also gone under here, I think, let me take a look here, but I think it's 8 of 10 right now. Let's see. 5 of their last 7 at home here. I got to go with the Sharks in this one, man. Give me the Sharks in this one. All right, we're almost done, guys. Thanks a lot. 2.5 hours with me. Nobody spent. I got almost a record crowd here on Saturday morning with me here. Thank you, everybody. All right, Timmy says Saros is better than Askarov. Nashville, though, for Timmy. Yeah, Timmy, yeah, they own him. You're right. Okay, we got a few more here. One or two more here. Let me see. Golden Knights and the Oilers here with the Oilers $1.15 and the total 6.5. I'm so blown away. Just a great job by the Oilers right now. Ever since King Leon has left the team here with an injury, they've been great. I mean, really, really proud of what we've seen from Edmonton here. Not kidding. Edmonton 5-2 in their last 7 against Vegas at home. Vegas has lost 5 straight to Edmonton here, and Vegas has won 2 in a row. So they're kind of getting back to things, and big, huge game that can't be overlooked here. Vegas 84 points. Now, I think they're going to make the playoffs. I don't think it's a problem here. I don't know. They're 3 points behind Anaheim and Edmonton here for second or first. Anaheim's on a losing streak, but Edmonton's on a winning streak. So let's see what you think in this one. With this important game here, Edmonton 5 straight wins. They've dominated Vegas with 5 straight head-to-head wins. Both teams trending under recently, and this feels like, look, these two teams are over teams. We know that. Right now, Edmonton 24-13 to the over at home. I'm going to take the Oilers in this one to get it done over the Knights. Knights hitting the road for the first time with Tortorella, and they could be in trouble here, actually. It could be a high-scoring game, and Vegas could be in for a long night. We'll see. Let's see what we got here in the chat. Timmy says Oilers money line. And let's see here. Over looks good. All right. Couple more here. And where is. I seem to have lost my Blackhawks Kraken. I'm going to have to do this over on the fly here. I think I just typed right over it. There we go. That's okay. Blackhawks and Kraken here. Kraken, let's get Kraken. There we go. And we've got Seattle here, losers of 3 in a row, but the Blackhawks have lost a bunch in a row. So that neutralizes that. Chicago here has lost 5 straight. Seattle's lost 7 of their last 8, 6 of their last 7 at home. They're kind of pulling an elbow though here. They've fallen pretty much out of contention now because of all those teams. They're only 4 points out, really, but they're behind Winnipeg, St. Louis, LA, Nashville, just to get to San Jose. So we say it, you could go in and win them all. That's what you'd have to do. You'd think, oh, hey, we're only 4 points back. Let's just win, 5 of 6 of our last 8. That still is not going to get it done, not with all those teams ahead of you. So let's see, though, how you have it. They're still going to be desperate here for the win. But, the Blackhawks, yes, they've lost all these games in a row. They're not playing very well. So maybe this is one that Seattle can get. Maybe they can blow them away here. But it does feel like that Seattle is falling apart. Okay, here we go. Hey, Cinna figured out's here. Nice to see Cinna in there. He's got Seattle money line. Scuba, nice to have you, man. That's really good. Thank you, Scuba. Really cool for you to participate with us tonight. Great to have you as a member of the Chat Pros. All right, Cinna figured out's got his other plays in there as well. Seattle in regulation for Timmy Two Shoes. That'll get the price down a little bit. Yeah, for sure. I'm going to go here. I think I'm going to go with the under in this one. You do have Seattle here. 2-7 to the under is a favorite. 13-24 to the under at home. Chicago 32-40 to the under is an underdog here. So I know it's 5.5, but I'm going to take the under. And one more tonight between Calgary and Anaheim here with, I believe, Cooley and Husso going in this one. Husso here for the Ducks. They've lost 4 in a row right now. Bad timing for Anaheim, but still tied for first with Edmonton. So no problem here. They're gonna hang on. They're gonna make the playoffs, but you don't want to be losing here right at the end. Calgary, meanwhile, they're long out of it. I think if they lose tonight, they're officially out. So should be a good night here for the Ducks and $1.50. I'm going to take them here. In fact, I think I'm probably going to take the Ducks. Maybe a puck line here, even in this one. It's $1.50, and I think I feel pretty much confident enough in them to tack on an extra goal maybe here tonight. Anaheim's strong at home. They won 11 of their last 16. Calgary's lost 8 of 9 on the road here. Now, there's these two teams. Look, they're overs for sure, especially Anaheim. But maybe the matchup history does favor the under. They've gone under in the last 2 meetings here this year. So maybe you're at 6.5. That might be a little too high, but give me the Ducks here, and I'll take them on the puck line here for a little plus money return. And that's going to do it for Night Moves. Appreciate everybody for joining me. I thought that was a pretty good show, actually. We'll prove it tomorrow if we win. But, yeah, let me see that, Timmy. Sorry about that if I got the total too high. There's 6.5s out there, though, for sure. So, okay, that's going to do it for Night Moves. Don't forget to go over to Tony'sPicks.com. I got a 5-pack up right now for the UFC on Saturday. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15% off those premium pick packages. That's going to do it. Great job, everybody, tonight. Really good job, actually. And I think we're going to have a good night of wins here, too. I thought we had a pretty good night last night in the NBA. So I wish there was more NBA. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll catch you more on Night Moves here for Sunday and for the Tony's Bags YouTube channel. I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Las Vegas.